Yeah, just a couple of questions here. First of all, because we were not present there and we were not told that it was in all instances or all the arrests made that these doors were broken down. So if, for instance, a judge resisted arrest, do you think that the DSS, first of all, had the right to break the door? That's on the one hand. On the second hand, how do you see these cases eventually proceeding in the court of law? Because some people have also raised question as to whether or not, the NJC can handle this, or whether or not, we will eventually get justice at the end of the day. Do you think it's just blackmailing the judiciary?
Well, first of all, in terms of what we earlier said, we were not there, but we have seen pictures of broken doors. The DSS has not said it did not break those doors. Some of the judges have said that they were in bed when they woke them up. And for instance, I mean, why you would want to say that in a country where when the civilian governor was kidnapped, wife was kidnapped, it was alleged that some of those who kidnapped her were soldiers. So if somebody around 1 a.m., defenseless, unarmed, what kind of resistance can you put up against lorry loads of people who are armed and the rest of them? So I think that I do not want to accept that the doors are broken down because they resisted arrest. Maybe they may say they didn't open on time and they decided breaking down the door. But there's no law that says that when you go and arrest somebody, you have surrounded their house till early in the morning. But to go and be breaking down their doors is objectionable. Now, as to how these cases will proceed, now we have to know now. Okay, the DSS has gone on this operation. Is it DSS that will charge them now? Or would they now EFCC to go and charge them? Or go and the police to go and charge them? So you see, once you subvert the process, you create problems. We want to see corrupt judges brought to the courts, sent to jail. Because when some of these alleged corrupt judges, when they go to jail, there will be examples to others that corruption does not pay. But it will be difficult for you to establish guilt against them in any court of law once you breach the processes that you do. Because our legal system presume an accused person innocent of found guilty.
But what would you say to those who think, well, the thing about this is this. I mean, if the NJC say they've got about 308 petitions pending, which they need to consider, they got a huge amount of time. Several persons they've spoken, they've complained about corruption going on in the judiciary. It was about time something happened. And now that this raid has happened, and would there be anything wrong if the DSS says, well, we went there with the police, so the police, the EFCC can always take over prosecution. Even the AGF can direct who takes over prosecution. So that shouldn't be a problem, should it?
There's a problem already. If you have subverted the process, the lawyers will tell you that you can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand. We must cultivate that temperament to be able, where our laws are not okay, let's amend the laws. That's how you build institutions. But you don't subvert the process, use self-help, and think that you can achieve the same end.
But lawyers have also told us here that, documents that are relevant, no matter how you acquire them, is admissible in court. So the same judges who have been admitting that in court, isn't it about time they also experience what other people have been experiencing in court?
How sustainable is that? So
if the documents are legitimate?
No, I'm saying how sustainable is this process? You have done now to do some what the sting operation, which is not sting operation. Will you continue to do that every now and then? Don't forget, people are just being short-sighted though. In this country, in 1984, we took some politicians, we gave them some 200 years in jail, 300 years in jail. Have we solved the problem? Look, corruption is not an animate being that you can stake and shoot, or you can prison. You have to build decisions to deal with it. Even with advanced democracies, America, they are still dealing with corruption. So you can, it's not something you can just say you can, within a jiffy, or without having the temperament to go through building your institutions that can deal with it on a lasting basis. For instance now, and this is why some of us are particular, that we should not be one-eye magistrates that can only see one side, that cannot see the other. If now you have done these sting operations, you have taken some judges now. You bring in new judges. Some ministers have mentioned that they are trying to compromise the judges and leave them untouched. And I heard Alhaji Minister now saying that where they have a duty to deal with every act of corruption. Judges don't have immunity. Do the ministers have immunity then? Because if you leave the politicians who are corrupting them, if you bring other judges, these politicians will still corrupt those ones. So that's why we have to deal with them across the board. But more importantly, we must strengthen our institutions to deal with this issue. So it's not about pick and choosing. Because, okay, if you said, okay, there is corruption judiciary, so why is it that it's only these 7?
Some others have been suspended before now, though. All right, Yinka Odunmakin is the National Publicity Secretary of Afenifere. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure.